Hello, this is John Mark Gray, and given we have another in a long list of U.S. presidents who say one thing on the campaign trail, and not only fail to deliver on their promises, but almost inevitably do the exact opposite once in office. It is time for real change in America. Are you telling me with a country full of educated, smart, and industrious people that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are the best that we can do for political leaders? These people are fit for retirement homes, not leading the country forward towards greatness. Instead, we continue to get the same old political bullshit of forever wars abroad and unaffordable healthcare here at home. It is time to stop the partisan bickering and unite as a people for real political change in this country. Now, how did we get here as a nation full of uninformed citizens on political issues? It really is appalling that the entire academic and professional industry of journalism has sold out their integrity and journalistic standards to the gods of big business, corporate interests, and political parties. Hence, legitimate journalistic principles regarding objective facts and unbiased news, which isn't shaped for economic and political gain, no longer exists anywhere in the United States of America. This chain of events in the news industry has some negative consequences for our society as a whole. First of all, CNN and Fox News are brainwashing viewers and conditioning them to believe in patently false, utterly stupid, and demonstrably illogical thoughts and ideas on a regular basis. And most Americans are just not well equipped to offset the negative and corrosive effects of this pernicious political propaganda promulgated by an unprincipled and ethically challenged news media with its highly destructive disinformation machinery and unscrupulously manipulative marketing practices. In real terms, the news media have completely corrupted the minds of most Americans. Another problem for the news industry is that news anchors themselves need to be actual journalists instead of entertainment hosts. It would be better for the industry as a whole if they got rid of the stereotypical bubble-headed bleached blondes who would be better served as entertainment reporters or selling cosmetics on home shopping channels as opposed to covering and providing news along with inane, simple-minded political commentary. We definitely need more plainer-looking, intelligent people who are legitimate journalists in the news industry. However, the two-party system is loving this wretched state of affairs in the news business, as they have giant propaganda machines pushing out their political agendas and recruiting new cult members for their parties. Yes, the political parties have taken on many characteristics similar to highly destructive cults where participants have literally lost all ability to think for themselves anymore. The main takeaway from this sad situation stands that there is no credibility in the news industry and the field of journalism whatsoever these days. In fact, the misinformation and blatant partisan propaganda is so bad right now that there needs to be a tobacco-like warning label or banner that runs across all these news outlets and their respective platforms. This news disclaimer should read something like the following. This is not objective, fact-based news. This is political info entertainment and may be harmful for your understanding of political events. But it is obvious that many people in our society buy into this political propaganda churned out by the news industry, and it definitely affects the manner in which they view events, think about political issues, and interact with each other in society. There are without doubt some serious and dangerous ramifications for our country being an effectively functioning democracy, all because a bunch of unscrupulous people in the news industry wanted to make more money and sold out their journalistic principles along the way. The symbiotic relationship that has evolved between the two-party system and the news business, all in the pursuit of financial gain, has meant that most Americans walk around thinking like conditioned cult members as opposed to informed citizens about the important political issues facing this nation right now. Ironically, in this age of information, most people are purposely fed false and misleading information on such a regular basis that America is actually resembling unmistakable similarities to the Russian and Chinese propaganda machines of Joseph Stalin and Mao Zedong. It is ironic because when I was growing up in this country, we routinely criticized China and Russia for this type of deplorable propaganda, and that America was built upon cherished democratic ideals such as having freedom of speech, a fair and objective press, and discovery and promotion of fact-based journalistic principles. If you cannot trust the news in a country, then you effectively have no country. In essence, you are no longer a free and democratic nation. It is obvious that the only real winners with this current untrustworthy news paradigm are the political parties of the two-party system, as this political propaganda serves as recruitment tools for their politics and general business development needs. It should be self-evident that this problematic state of affairs in the news industry is remarkably destructive for objective and rational thinking on behalf of the voting public in America. The news and journalism industry needs to be politically independent and not politically biased and motivated. Just like a good brain surgeon or heart doctor, they don't bring politics into the operating room, as it is highly unethical and antithetical to the basic principles of their craft. These doctors have a moral obligation to take care of patients in an unbiased and objective manner. Well, the same goes for the news business. Just present the news in an unbiased and objective manner. You should have an unwavering ethical code, which was instilled in you from journalism school to live by this basic journalistic principle of being objective and unbiased. But unfortunately, the education industry itself has now become a business, as colleges and universities have long since lost any notion of objective integrity, ethical values, and professional standards. These institutions sold their academic souls to the political devil a long time ago. It is time for real change in America, and this means a change in politics, a change in government, a change in how we pick our political leaders, and a major change in our failing and untrustworthy news industry.